for this exercise, I'd like you to pick a character you've done in the past, since we don't have something current right now. And you can use that same character for all these exercises, or you can use different ones, whatever's going to work for you. So the first method is the Alba method. So just stand in a relaxed, neutral form and picture your character, whoever that is, and then just take 3 deep but normal speed breaths, and do 3 of those in your own time, making sure your face is relaxed, and actually focus on letting those muscles undo, and make sure your posture is relaxed and not the posture of your character. Breathe, and when you're ready, open your eyes, but stay engaged, because we're going to move on to the next step.
I didn't know I was supposed to close my eyes.
Oh, well, Candace did, but you didn't. That's okay. I mean, if it was me, I would close my eyes, but that's me. For me, as an actor, I would want to do the exercise the way that works for me. So do the exercise for the way that works for you. So the next thing is you're going to say, I am no longer, and then fill in your character name. I am now, and then put your name in. So go ahead.
I am no longer Dr. Catherine Brandt. I am Candace.
I am no longer Olive Ostrovsky. I am Amy.
And you using that character, I could see why that would be such a great character for these exercises. And the last one, list 3 ways that you as the actor are different than you as the character. And you can say them at the same time. It's okay. You don't have to wait for each other.
I don't read the dictionary.
I don't have limited physical abilities.
Don't wear yellow.
I'm not really that interested in classical music. And I have a better relationship with my daughter.
Things to think about could be relationships. It could be favorite things. So try to find that third thing, Amy, that will help divide you from her.
I don't think I'd be okay getting second place.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, so that's the first one. You said you prefer the shower. You want to try the showering one? No, you said you want to do the layering one, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the one we'll do. Okay, so just kind of like shake out really quickly and switch gears, because now this is going to be more physical. And I will narrate, but you don't have to keep up with what I'm saying. Still try to do things in your own time, and I will do my best to keep connected so that I don't get too far ahead of you.
Can I do it too? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely. No. Yes. I do want you both to try it, because yeah. So, okay. So close your eyes and picture your character. Again, it can be, in this instance, the same one or a different one. And think about that character's qualities. Think about how the weight of the character feels on you. And think about the things about the character with which you connect. And feel and picture what that character is wearing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in this production, in this moment. It can be something else that character might wear that helps define them. But have a really good picture of top to bottom what that character is wearing. Think of those characters as an added layer on top of you and on top of the clothes you're wearing now. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes when you're ready. Again, you don't need to look at me. You don't need to look at the camera. You just look where your eyes settle. So take a breath in and out and open your eyes. And in your own time and your own pace, remove all of those articles of costume pieces, one at a time. What do you have to do to remove them? Do you have to untie them, unzip them, unclasp them? unbutton, unsnap. There's so many ways that our clothes are connected to us. And be sure once you take that piece off that you do something with it. You can even sit on the floor for now if you want, and you'll come back to it. And think about how much effort it takes to get the clothes off you. If they're really, really tight pants, they might take more wiggles. Or if they're sweatpants, they might just kind of fall off. Does it come off over your head? Does it come, unbuttoned down the middle and you unpeel it? And think, if you think kind of top to bottom as you're working, if there's anything you've forgotten. Did you have a hat, a gloves or a scarf on? Jackets or a sweater? Shirts or blouses? Pants or skirts? What jewelry? Is there a wedding ring that the character wore that you can take off that isn't yours? Are you wearing any kind of special undergarments like bloomers or corset? And does your character have nylons on? Or socks or shoes? And once you've got all those pieces off, just let me know that by how you're standing. And then now look at all those pieces of clothing that are in front or beside you, and pick each one up and decide what is going to happen to that piece. Is that a piece that gets hung on a hanger, or does it get folded and placed in a bag? Is it need to just be crumpled up and thrown in a ball because you got to take it home to be washed? Are there small pieces like a hairpin or jewelry or fake teeth that need to be put in a special bag so they don't get lost? And take each piece and put it where it needs to be. And then go ahead, if it's on a hanger, hang it up. If it's in a bag, maybe you can put it in a locker, or maybe you're going to carry it with you and take it out to the car. And as you're touching those things and putting them away, allow the character attachments to go with them away from you. And take your time, and when you're done, just come back to a relaxed position. And there's no rush, take your time. Thank you. And we can do the last one, and then I would love to get some feedback from you as we're working. So I'd like to do the facilitated conversation. Is there something you can think of, a role that either of you had in the past that we could kind of layer onto this, that you can go back to? One of your, like Catherine, or from Painting Churches, or if you wanted to look at your character from Vagina Monologues. I'm open to whatever you want to do.
Well, I can be the one who actually won the spelling bee. If
Wow.
So if we were gonna do that, it would probably be the guy who pantomimed slapping me.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great place. Okay.
Yeah, because there was there wasn't an actual physical altercation, but he was my dad, and he slapped his hands together, and I moved my head basically to show that I had been slapped. Yeah.
Are you comfortable filling that?
It's fine.
Yeah.
And you said there was no physical contact in that? Okay. All right. So go ahead and turn towards each other. You're going to look at each other. You don't have to stare each other down. But take that minute, take a breath, find that connection. Saw the performance tonight. I thought you both did a beautiful job. Thank you for your work. Do you feel like everything went the way it was planned to go? And Amy, if you want to think back to a performance where you can specifically remember it did or it didn't, you're welcome to explore that.
I think so. You timed your slap very well, because it was at the same time, even though our backs were turned to each other, we still managed to sync up rhythmically. So even though we can never actually see each other, we're still working together well. So.
Candace, how did you feel about it? Did it feel right to you, or did the timing seem wonky?
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because every night I'm worried about that
Mhm.
I'm either accidentally going to hit you on the shoulder, my hand strays, or that we're not going to get it. So, yeah, good to know.
Good discussion. I talked with the fight coordinator, and they watched it, and they didn't see any issues as well, so it sounds like everybody's on the same page. Is there anything you want to review tomorrow night at our fight call?
If we don't already do it, I think it would be helpful to do it once or twice before.
Yeah.
And you should be doing that before every rehearsal and performance, so
Mhm.
your fight coordinator should be working with you on that. Now, I know you are both are very much aware of this. What happens on stage is pretend, and that you're going to go home and you're going to be who you are rather than who you were on stage. Could each of you just make a statement to each other about that, so that you're both clear that we're moving away from characters into becoming actors?
I know that you do not slap children.
Thank you. I don't. And I'm sure you don't need to be slapped, nor should you ever be slapped.
And I appreciate that. I hope so. That's usually up to everyone else around me, but yeah.
So you've talked about what you aren't. Can you talk about something that that you are now?
Well, I'm going to go home to my family and probably have a glass of wine with my wife, and yeah, just kind of let it all relax.
I'm gonna go be an adult and and also have a glass of wine.
All right, cheers.
Yeah.
And I would offer you the opportunity to do some kind of closure practice. If you want to high five, shake hands, give each other a hug, whatever, or if you have a little personal handshake you've worked out.
Let's say if you just stick your hand out, I can have us do a personal handshake. It's just that.
Oh, sorry. What are we doing here?
There we go.
Okay.
And as a reminder, that you handled that really well. As a reminder, if you want to hug someone, you should ask for permission.
Yeah.
So, like, could Aunt Candace, may I
Probably.
please give you a hug? And you have the autonomy to say, I'm happy to shake your hand. So,
All right.
excellent.
Sorry that I just made you do a secret handshake without asking
All
first.
right, if I only knew the secret, I could do it as well.
Well, you didn't grab her hand and, take it. You put your hand out, and she had a choice to extend her hand or not. So that's part of you getting to make your own choices as actors, which I really love.
So a question there, I guess, is how would the two actors develop the secret handshake? I mean, then just have that conversation at some point between themselves?
I think sometimes it just happens naturally. The instructor, the example was a hug. One of the actors said to the other, may I hug you? And for me, I'm a hugger, so that's very cathartic. But as I was kind of putting my own script together, I was thinking, I know of a teacher who has a different handshake with every kid, and how, it isn't me,
But yeah.
how neat it would be to have actors have that kind of personal thing that is theirs as
Just
actors.
theirs.
So, all right. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
Go team.
Thank you. That's it.
Oh,
Nice.